In Denver, Nikola Jokic, he messed around and got a monster triple-double. And the Nuggets, they staved off elimination against the shorthanded Timberwolves. Here's how it happened. Remember, no Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo in this one.
How can we forget?
Today was a good day.
Yeah, Jokic, nice little fake out to Brown, jams it home.
And a spin move.
And a spin move. Woo. Final seconds of the second quarter here.
Angry about that.
Jokic.
Oh, yeah, this
top.
shot, the rim.
He said we was talking too much. We was talking too much about Rudy Gobert. He didn't like that.
Yeah.
You see how it went through the net?
He didn't like
Did it make that noise?
It did in my head.
To the third quarter we go. Midway through. Watch Jokic again here. Jokic looks under the basket to where he wants Jamal Murray to cut. And then, of course, Jamal it's telepathy here, Shanae.
So clean, their connection, elite. Nice pass, of course.
And this was on display all night long. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Jokic, a little bounce pass here. Christian Brown.
Drop spin on the pass.
Nuggets had 35 assists. It's their most in a playoff game since 1985.
That spin was crazy. It went to the side.
Right. And then Spencer Jones pokes the ball away. Jamal Murray.
Get up.
Coast to coast.
Get up.
High altitude play there.
That was too funny.
With time expiring here.
I'm just like, come on now.
I love that because he softened it up. I think that there was a lot of tension. The refs were probably worried. He softened it up for the NBA, let them know, we still having fun.
Denver gets the win, 125-113. Whose definition of fun?
I was like, excuse me.
Sure, Nicola's. And Nikola was having fun. He was able to pick up his play finally against Rudy Gobert after really struggling in the first four meetings. Jokic got his 20th career playoff triple-double and made half of his attempts against Gobert in Game 5 after converting on just 33% in those previous games. So Denver was rolling. They were rolling on both ends of the floor. We mentioned the 35 assists. They also had 16 steals in this game. That's their most in a playoff game in franchise history. So does it feel, Brian, like all of a sudden, yes, the Timberwolves are still up in this series, but the Denver's in the driver's seat?
They are now favored in this series, and they're favored by 6.5 points.
In this series.
Yeah, by a little bit. And they're favored by 6.5 points in a road elimination game. I can't say I've ever remembered that. So here's what I think. Look, I think this game coming up in Game 6, this is the Wolves Super Bowl. Because I don't know who's going to come back. I don't know what they might have in the next round. I know that they hate the Nuggets. And I know that they may not have all their soldiers in the next round, but they want to kill off the Denver season.
Yep.
And look, and it was ugly. And obviously the Nuggets offense was way back, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, the turnovers. But I do think the second half that Minnesota played, they basically played them, even in the second half. Randall had a big game, and they can look at maybe eliminating some of those turnovers. I think they believe that they could pull out.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The Denver Nuggets are not dead yet. Down 3-1 in the series against the Minnesota Timberwolves, facing elimination on their home floor, Nikola Jokic delivered a masterpiece. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 16 assists, a triple-double that reminded everyone why he is a three-time MVP. The Nuggets won 125-113, and now the series heads back to Minnesota for Game 6. The crew on NBA Today started breaking down what this means for the Timberwolves. And Iman Shumpert, a former NBA champion, said something that should terrify Minnesota fans. He said, Game 6 is a must-win for the Wolves. Let me show you exactly what they said. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break this down because the crew had some serious insights. First, let's talk about Jokic. He finally figured out Rudy Gobert. In the first 4 games of the series, Jokic shot just 33% against Gobert. In Game 5, he made half of his attempts. He got his 20th career playoff triple-double. He had 16 assists. And the Nuggets had 35 assists as a team, their most in a playoff game since 1985. That is championship basketball. Now, let's talk about the Timberwolves. They were without Anthony Edwards. They were without Dante DiVincenzo. They were short-handed. And they still made it competitive. Julius Randle had a big game. He looked alive. He looked like the guy they need him to be. And Iman Shumpert said, I think Julius Randle can morph into what they need him to morph NTO so that they can close out in Game 6. But here is the problem. The Nuggets have all the momentum. Brian Windhorst pointed out that the Nuggets are now favored in the series. He said, they're favored by 6.5 points in a road elimination game. I can't say I've ever remembered that. That is insane. A team that was down 3-1 is now favored to win Game 6 on the road. That tells you everything about how dominant Denver looked. Now, let's talk about the X factor. The crew discussed that the Timberwolves are operating without any expectations. Windhorst said, "That can be a dangerous team because if Denver gets behind in that game in that environment, it can snowball on them a little bit." And he is right. Minnesota is at home. They have the crowd. They have nothing to lose. If they get a lead, if they make some shots, if they force some turnovers, the Nuggets could tighten up. But here is the reality. The Nuggets have Nikola Jokic. And as Iman Shumpert pointed out, Jokic has a transformative power. He said, based off of his passing, he can take a role player like Cam Johnson, he can take a role player like Spencer Jones and make them have all-star level production. That is what makes Jokic different from everyone else. He makes everyone around him better. He turns role players into stars. And in Game 5, Spencer Jones and Cam Johnson stepped up in a big way. The Nuggets also have Jamal Murray. He had 24 points. He was aggressive. He was attacking. He was connect. In with Jokic on those telepathic passes. And they have Christian Braun, who had a huge game. And they have Aaron Gordon. Actually, Gordon might be out for Game 6. That is a huge loss. He is a huge piece of their defense and their offense. But even without him, the Nuggets have enough. So, what is the prediction? The Timberwolves have to win Game 6 at home. If they lose, Game 7 is back in Denver. And as Windhorst said, if it goes back to Denver, it's over. The Nuggets are too good at home. They have too much experience. They have Jokic. And the Wolves are too banged up. But here is the thing. The Timberwolves have Anthony Edwards. He is expected to be back for Game 6. He changes everything. He is a superstar. He can take over a game. He can score 40. He can lock in on defense. And if he is healthy, if he is aggressive, if he gets help from Julius Randle and the role players, the Wolves can force a Game 7. Iman Shumpert said it best. Game 6 is the Wolves' Super Bowl. I don't know who's going to come back. I don't know what they might have in the next round. I know that they hate the Nuggets. They want to kill off the Denver season. And that is the motivation. This is a rivalry. These two teams do not like each other. And the Wolves have a chance to close it out at home. They have a chance to send the defending champions home. They have a chance to prove that they are the best team in the West. But Jokic is not going to let them do it easily. He is going to fight. He is going to make plays. He is going to find open shooters. He is going to control the game. And if the Nuggets win Game 6, all the pressure shifts to Minnesota for Game 7. And that is a different animal. I want to know what you think. Can the Timberwolves close out the series at home? Or are the Nuggets going to force a Game 7? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.